So hello planes boys and aviation lovers, today you join me here at Valencia Airport. Today we'll be flying on a brand new airline for myself, Vueling, and we're going to be flying on the Airbus A320 CEO. Well, I want to say nice and easy through security. It was nice and easy if you didn't get your bag checked. Okay then folks, I'm not actually going to go to the lounge as you saw that. I've got a Burger King instead because I'm just thinking we've only got about an hour and a half really until they start calling boarding, and you've got to get through passport control to get to the non-Schengen side. Well, I've done that already. Literally, you scan your thing on that enter-exit system, and because I'm already registered, because I registered earlier, it just says proceed straight to the E-gates. You go to the E-gates, no questions asked, just like an EU citizen would go to the E-gates. So now, that was very easy. Only thing is you don't get a stamp, unfortunately. And I've got my Burger King. Look at that for a large drink. That is absolutely huge. And it's a Fanta Lemon again, of course. So I'm just going to sit here and do some editing for the video you watch whilst charging my stuff on the airport's free electricity. Let me just show you where I am actually at Valencia Airport. So not in the lounge, I'm just at the networking area where you can do your work. So I've got my laptop, phone charging, the camera's actually on charge as I'm speaking to you, and I'm just going to sort my bag out as well. So I'm going to sit here and enjoy my drink, crack on with that, and I'll see you all shortly. Anyway, there's not much of a queue, so boarding group 3. Let's go and get on. Okay then folks, Vueling for the first ever time. Let's go and try them out. Today's aircraft is Echo Charlie Mike Kilo Oscar, I believe, if I remember that correctly. And good friend of mine, Logan Spottings, actually flew on this plane back in February, the exact same reg from Malaga. So what are the chances of us getting the same reg there? Let's go and get on board. Yes, today's aircraft, Echo Charlie Mike Kilo Oscar, was delivered to Vueling new in April 2016, making it 10 years old. Getting on board today, the seats were in a standard 3x3 configuration. Okay then folks, welcome aboard the Vueling Airbus A320 CEO. First impressions are very warm and very tight. I'll go for the seat a little bit more in the air, but for now I'm going to enjoy the sunset over Valencia Airport. Okay then folks, airborne out of Valencia en route to London Gatwick. Been in the air for about 10-15 minutes now, and I specifically chose the left side of the aircraft for this flight tonight to capture the sunset, because it's meant to be very nice on the left side of the aircraft, and the nice weather you would have seen in last week's video in Valencia, you'd think you'd have a nice sunset during the flight, but if we look out the window it's just very cloudy. So hopefully once we get to our cruising altitude we'll be able to capture the last of that sunset. I'm just a little bit concerned we're going to miss the sunset because we're flying in the clouds at the moment. I have had a little look through the onboard menu today. Because it's a new airline, I'm meant to show you guys the food available. However, there's just nothing I want. There's all sandwiches and stuff, or burgers, and the whole point of coming to here was to get the burger from the 100 Burger place. So I'm not too sure what we're going to do there, and I've got a drink too, so maybe I just won't get anything on this flight to show you, because there is a lot to show you already. In a short while I will show you around the seat for today's flight, and it's okay, but I'll show you in more depth very shortly. But for now I'm going to enjoy our climb to cruise. Okay then folks, as it gets a little bit turbulent, I've not experienced turbulence in a while, this can be quite fun. Let's take a little look around the seat for today's flight. That's very turbulent, but for you guys it should be nice and steady because of a nice new camera I've got. It should keep you guys nice and steady. Well, let's have a little look around. So first up today, then we're going to look at the tray table. Tray table folds down. It's bigger than the one on the Wizz Air flight I've done recently, but it's a little bit dirty in places. Not too happy about that. Next up is the seat pocket. This one doesn't, as you can see, I've got my drink in there and it's already touching my knee, which is not the best considering if I sit back straight in the seat. I've got like 5 centimetres of legroom left, so not really the best there. Very tight. Obviously if I take the bottle out I might have 10 centimetres, but it's not really very good legroom. So if you're someone who needs or wants a bit more legroom, book an extra legroom seat or go on Wizz Air. Right, next up we're going to look at the coat hanger. There's a coat hanger on board. There was one on Wizz Air, but I didn't use it because it would disrupt the passenger next to me. I didn't like the placement of them, but this one here just tucked the seat down there. The seat doesn't recline, unfortunately. Again, they said in the safety demo about the seats being upright. The seats don't recline, so there's no chance of them not being upright, is there? And then looking up at the overhead panel then, let's have a look up there now. Quite far away on this plane, so I can't film with the microphone and put the camera up there at the same time, otherwise I'll be wiring up my fellow passengers. Yeah, you've got your standard light air conditioning vent, which isn't very strong on this plane, but it is 10 years old, so I'll let them off with that one briefly there. It's rather messy down there now. This is towards the end of the day for this aircraft, so it's probably not been cleaned since this morning, but the mess does look like it's been there for quite a while. It's embedded in the carpets there, so I don't think that's been cleaned even last night. So yeah, that's a bit annoying. As you can see, it is quite dirty down there, especially when you're putting your bag down there. You think it's just a little bit disappointing there. Other than that, the seat's quite comfy at the moment. It's very similar to the EasyJet seats, actually, the shapes of the actual seats themselves, but they're grey, obviously, grey and yellow instead of blue and orange or black and orange. We've actually nearly reached our top of descent, I think, top of climb, sorry, I think. So I can start to see some of that sunset. So I'll keep you all updated with some of the stuff. We'll have a little look through the onboard magazine, the in-flight menu, and we'll also test some of the in-flight services such as the Wi-Fi on board. So let's have a little look at them things then. Something I did miss is there is USB and chargers available for you to plug your devices into on board this aircraft, which is okay, folks. So very quickly, look what I have managed to do. Get onto this Wi-Fi. So let's try the 15-minute free Wi-Fi that you get on board. Send a message to the group chat here. Test from the air. Would it send? It has sent. That's very good. Okay, the test has also shown me that where we are on the map on Flight Radar, and it also shows me where we actually are. Well, so it definitely works. So that is the 15 minutes free Wi-Fi, which you can use for 15 minutes, so I'm going to make the most out of that, have a little bit of fun with that. And the cost, if you do want to purchase the Wi-Fi though, it's not actually that expensive. Made our initial descent because my ears have started to go. And the impression I've been given for my first ever Vueling flight is it's okay, but like I do say in some of the videos where I say a little bit of a negative point, this is just based off my opinion on one flight on one day. I could come on this flight tomorrow and be on a very clean, spotless aircraft, and it'll be no negative points of that, would there? So I think it's just because it's the end of the day, it's not been cleaned. But I have to note that in the flight report to you all. We had touchdown back at London Gatwick. Now for this flight today I paid £14.99 for a basic fare, and I was to select the seat to sit next to the window. This was an additional £17. Okay then folks, so Vueling, what did you think of that? Well, like I said, I was a little bit disappointed with the fact that the seat wasn't very clean. In terms of the crew, as I've said throughout the whole video, they were friendly, showed good service and a good greeting when you get on the board, and also the pilot said goodbye when you got off the plane. Really nice little touch there from the crew. Sometimes you just get the cabin crew and sometimes they don't even say hello. So what would I give Vueling? Well, compared to Ryanair, EasyJet, the legroom's a little bit tighter, I felt. So it's probably gonna be around the same as them. For a budget airline, they done the job. The flight was £14.99. I can't really complain. You can't even get the train from my house to Gatwick for that. So, however, something I can complain about is the cost to select your seat. Now this fluctuates. When you first go to book the flight, it was £30, 777, it was £30, and then a week before check-in it was about £12–14. And then when I went to check-in, to sit next to the window, it cost me an extra £17, which is an extra £3 to what the flight actually cost me. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this Vueling trip report today. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and hype it if you can on your mobile phone, because that boosts Brand Place 123 for the algorithm. Meaning I'll get more views, meaning I can make even more videos like this. If you are new around here and you have enjoyed this video today, why not subscribe and check out the trip reports and plane spotting videos we've got on the channel. But until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all on another flight, because we're going flying again very soon. Bye for now.